Welcome to a new video. Today I'm doing a tour of my Minecraft Alpha world for hitting 350 subs. And we're just gonna start here real quick and I'm gonna show off my little sub monument. I built that for 250 subs. Then I have some little ones here for 300 subs and then 350, which I just hit now, so thank you everyone for helping me get to that. If I ever hit 500 subs, I'll do another build like that. But anyways, I'm gonna go to the other side of my city and start the tour. So we're over here at the beginning of my alpha city. I moved over here when I finished InfDev and updated. And then I left my InfDev city with nothing, found some sugarcane here, knew it was new chunks, and started building. This is my first little crafting table setup for the city. And my first chest here, probably my first set of stone tools. For the city, not for the world. And this was the first building of my city, the sugarcane shack. It used to be full, but I used up all the sugarcane. And also, I'll show off that for now. That's my Christmas island. I don't really have to go into detail with that. Or the fire island. I'll show off those islands though after. And this is my railway, which I'm extending to my InfDev city. This is my first egg. There were two little trees here, but I accidentally burned them down. So I replaced it with a glass little thing. And this is the first house I made in this city. A little pond behind it too. I keep a lot of my stuff here in the chest. It just has an upstairs and a downstairs. Right beside it is the first little fishing dock I made in my city. And then a fishery, whatever that is. My first fishing rod and fish. There's a bedroom up here. And in the basement is where all the fish related things happen. This is the kitchen. No fish in there right now. This is the freezer. If I keep going this way too, it's build height sugarcane. Because this is the sugarcane part of my city. And this is just a little diner. A little kitchen too with a bunch of food. Right down from the diner is, this is the boat shop. There's a boat on display there behind the glass. And just some fishing rods and boats for sale. Above the boat shop and beside the diner there's a bunch more buildings. This is just a little school. Then there's a little house over here with the first fridge I made in my world. This is a lawyer's office and his house. This is a little fountain. And a post office right beside it. There's nothing really in there though. We're gonna walk down here a bit. And then there's a little shop and a house inside of it. Different things for sale. A little storage room. With some extra money, a little place to put it safely away from the cash register. And this is the house part. Next up we're showing off this house, also you can see up on the hill, and a blimp right there too. There's a TV there. Little kitchen. And there's some bedrooms down here, just really small. And another main bedroom up here. Another house. Really small house. Here's another house. One of the earlier ones I made. This is just a tour of my alpha city, no InfDev city. Just wanted to say that if I forgot to. Yeah, actually forgot to mention too. You can see the water from down here. This is like a realty office, so you can buy real estate. Also, I'm Steve because I don't have internet. Just some offices. And the owner's office. Just a small real estate office. We're coming up to the beach now, but I have another house to show off. And there's 2 little bedrooms up here. But this is my beach. It has a little boat, a dock, have some fires, little volleyball field, I guess. That's for the lifeguard to sit on. A flag for my city. And that's the path going back to my InfDev city, which I'm not showing today. But there's this mine nearby it too. This is the mine I use in my city to get a lot of my stuff. My first diamond pickaxe I made in this city. I still have one in my InfDev city too. So now we're gonna go up here. There's a little abandoned house. And the grave of the person who used to live in it. That's in progress well. And this is the church. And I put it at the top of the hill because I thought it was fitting. This is one of my favorite builds. It's basic though, but I still like it. And at the top of the hill I have a few more things to show off, like this. Another grave. There's another grave right here too. So there's the pool of the house I showed earlier. This is a little tunnel. And it goes to the nether. And I think this is my first netherrack and soul sand. Next up is this house, which also has a pool. I made this so I could have another house for myself that I use to store stuff. A lot of bookshelves. And you can even go on the roof. Nothing up here though. There's a basement as well that I used as storage. I took out all the cobblestone though and used it for other builds. There's another little well behind my house too. Little pond here and a sports field. This is my greenhouse. I just added this little bench outside here and a tree as well. And my sign for my city, Main Shore City. Here's a bakery. And this is a tunnel to the other side of my city. It goes to the desert part of my island. I won't go down it, but it has the identical setup at the other side, and that's at the other side of my island. Next up is my library and cafe. So there's two little rooms here, a little room to read and chill. And this is just the reception. This is where most of the books are. And an underwater cafe. Here's another hidden base. Actually, this is the first one I'm showing off. Can't show where it is though. And then I'll show that. There's a windmill you can get inside of. I might rework it and make the outside look a bit better, because it doesn't look too matching, I don't know. And this is just a little market with some stuff to buy. And there's a little beach there. And right here's my lighthouse. This is my second lighthouse in my world and the first one in my city. And it's half glowstone, half wood. Next up, I'm going to show this little area. And then some of those islands. It's just a little washroom. This is like a wall to a different part of my city. There's some different flags for my city. Another wall leading to the outside. And some little pyramids. Here's a time capsule I have to open in like 5 years. And I'll show the pyramid after, but there's a little island I made too. It just has some benches and some lights. Here's a little house on an island. Now we're entering the biggest part of my city. My chests. There's another blimp. And some apartments. They're all kind of the same, and there's like 6 of them in here. And they all have the same layout and everything, so I'll only show one of them. I guess there's 7 of them actually. And that's the apartment. Here's the 1-year tower for my city. This was just to celebrate playing my Minecraft world for 1 year. Here's a little science lab I made. This has some different stuff a lab would need. Here's the second floor, some projects in development. There's no iron golems and Alpha Minecraft, so I can build that. This is who's ever in charge, the laboratory manager. Some mob drops. And this is the final floor of the actual lab. Under here is the anomalous part of the lab. You have to go through decontamination. This is the rooms, like the washroom, some offices, everything the workers need here. A little staff room. And then there's also a cafeteria. It's pretty small, but there's not too many workers anyway. And this is the reception. This is where all the anomalies are. You can read these if you want. Just some ideas I had inspired by SCP. This one's not done yet though. These rooms are done, but there's one room left. The skull of the creature. This is like a sea creature. I have a few of those in my oceans. Probably won't show them, but there's a few in the ocean around my city, like 2. I went the wrong way, but there's also a hidden treasure in the ocean of my city, and Netherrack X marks the spot. Some of these I got kinda lazy, especially with the lighter. This is supposed to be like a haunted house. It's one of my favorite ones. Definitely not just a regular house that's haunted, but can't record the ghosts. Here are the last 2 rooms. And that's the anomaly lab. I was inspired by SCP mostly. Here's kind of like just a financial building. Has different stuff you need. Some insurance. Some legal services if you don't want to trust a lawyer that does his work in his house. A financial consultant. Investment offices. And I think this is the bank. Yeah. Just some iron and gold. Not too much. The real estate. Better real estate than the other place. And the CEO's office. I think there's, some writing there. And the roof as well. I don't think. Just some lights on here. Good view of the city though. Might get a thumbnail. Maybe with the pyramid in view. There's also some ladders here. And this is the basement. Here's a little shopping center I made. Even though it's a single player world, still gotta have some stars available. And then back here is the staff room with some storage as well. Outside there's also the first parking lot of my Minecraft city. Next up is the actual city bank. And it has some offices as well. Then the main office of the manager. And then the vault. Next up is this place, which is like the IRS, like a tax collecting place. So some offices, probably main office. And yeah, so I needed a place to collect all the taxes of my citizens, which is just myself, but still. And in front of all of that, we got the city hall. The leader, Sugarcane Shore. These are all the different areas in my city. This is Cactus Shore, the next place I'm gonna show off. They each have their own leaders, but then there's the mayor of the whole city as well. There's my New Year sign for the past 2 New Years. I started this city late 2024. Or more like midway through the end of summer, September or something. Here's another little house. Made this a long time ago as well when I was working on the other builds I just showed you. All probably over a year ago now. I would at least think so. Maybe some of them were more recent or had changes. Some builds were new, like the pyramids and stuff. I built those a few months ago. That's an old to-do list. I won't show it, but it has a bunch of outdated stuff on it. Here's the cart house. Still gotta write the laws down there, so it's not finished yet. But there's the actual cart room. Some lawyer's office, like public defenders probably, since you can go get your other lawyers. Or maybe just a meeting room to talk to your lawyers. A jury room for all the jurors to make their decision. And just a main office. Now we're in the basement, and these are where all the laws are, but I still gotta add a lot more. And go slower in case anyone actually wants to read all of them. Here is my city's police station. Some offices and some bows, arrows, and swords for all the police. Then up here is a little cell to put them in. There's an actual prison in my city, so this is just kind of like a holding cell. Next up is this little house. Very simple. I just want lots of houses in my city. So next up is a couple more hidden bases. Here's another lighthouse for my city, with another flag on top. Not my city's flag, just a blank white one. It is a proper bedroom and bathroom in here though, so it's more of an actual house. And it has a couple rooms as well, and it's all glowstone. So I just wanted to improve my lighthouse and have one at the other side of my island. Next up is this school. I don't know why that door is open. There's some that are open. There's an office in here. Cafeteria. Then there's a second floor. And this is where all the classrooms are. Only a couple classrooms. And a blank roof that you can't fall off of. This is an architect's office. I wanted all the floor to be glass with some water at the bottom. Just some offices, a staff room. This is a little washroom, that's why it doesn't have glass floor or roof. And here is the main office. I'm gonna show off these three little houses. They're all pretty similar though. Just a bathroom in the basement, then like kitchen, living room, and bedroom. And they're all just like that, the three of them. It's like the easiest way to make a basic house. At least the way I do it. Staircases are better though, they make more sense for a house. So I've been trying to use them more often. And trying to make unique shapes for houses and stuff. And here's the hospital. An in-progress build that's been taking a long time. And be quick with this part. This is where the dead bodies go from the hospital. I have to add that in the basement. Here's all the little clinics. There's 6 of them, 3 on each side. Then a cafeteria as well. Up here, a doctor's office and a little meeting room for all the doctors to meet. And then some bathrooms here. And there's just a bunch of other doctor's office. This is the hospital administrator. And just a bunch of other doctors. And just other people that work here that need office. On the 3rd floor is just a bunch of hospital rooms. They all look like that. Different flower for each side. And then a little MRI room and a viewing room for it. And it's all the same for just 10 hospital rooms on this floor, so 20 total. And then this is for a prisoner if they need to go to the hospital. And the security guard would sit out here, and maybe one in there too. And this is the in-progress quarantine room, and this is the empty roof. I don't know what that's going to be yet. It's going to be a staff locker room. A little lab. And this will be the quarantine patient rooms, just in case any outbreaks happen. Especially since, zombies are running around the streets. So I think that completes that part of my city. Now we're moving on to the deserty area, which is a little dirt hut. The first build for the desert area. Then up here's the railway station. I'm adding in the railway after, when powered railways get added, when I update to that. Probably because I want it to be functional and go all around my entire world. And just a small railway station. The flag outside and just a few little details around here. But I gotta go under it anyway, because that's where my gold mine is. And that's actually where I mine a lot of stuff as well. And here's the office for it. Another secret base as well. and definitely one of the better ones. It has 2 little cabinets for the kitchen to just store food or whatever. It also has a freezer and a fridge. And it has 2 bedrooms here. And then a little TV space, a washroom, and the master bedroom with its own TV. Here's the little construction company. You'd come here, say we needed some workers would go do some construction. There's some basic supplies back here. They can order what else they need or go get it. There's a little gazebo, and then a little house over here. A basic house again with, I think, 2 bedrooms this time. Or no, just kitchen there. And across from it is a therapy office. So you could get some therapy here. And then group therapy up here. Beside that is the warehouse, where you can store a lot of things. A little entrance there. A little like garage here. And then up here is a staff room with a little kitchen and everything. And then a washroom and the manager's office. Back here is also part of the warehouse. It's walled off. Some boats in case we need them. That's for extra storage. And then there's also a lighthouse. And a couple docks as well. There's also a few floating islands here I kept. And the fire department. So it's like a little place a car could park or something. Some boats. The fire pole. And then chests of supplies for each of the firemen that could be here. Up here is a little bedroom, like sleeping quarters, a hangout room, and a bathroom. Then up here's just a tank of water. Definitely, that's in real firehouses. Search it up, definitely. They have like basically a pool of water just in their kitchen. And this is the kitchen. And there's probably nothing on the roof except that fire department that's on fire. So I'm just gonna jump down the pole. Here's a high school for my city. The office. An art room. Library. Cafeteria. A classroom. A second classroom. And a third classroom. Then up here I changed it up a bit with a theater room. And a computer room. Currently have levers to the side of each of those. But here's another classroom. This one's a lot bigger, even as a whiteboard. And that's the high school. This is the underneath of the school, the sports field as well. A little restaurant. I always close the doors behind me. I don't like leaving them open. Unless it's a build I didn't finish yet. Just a small little store. Here's another little house. A house on the beach. Here's a little motel. You can check in here. And then you get one of these rooms that are both identical with a mini fridge. And across from it's an apartment. And all these apartments are the same. I think there's, how much? 8 of them? 10 of them. There's 10 apartments. And they're all basically the same, minus a few changes, like probably paintings or flowers. And here's the manager's room with a private washroom. Manager, the person in charge of the apartment, the overlord, what is it called? I don't even know. Tenant is the person, landlord, that's what it's called. Some storage units. Someone's probably living here. There's my birthday cake. I made that on my birthday last year of 2025. Here are some little islands. Next up is another pretty basic house, but this time it has a staircase and a ladder. This goes to the basement, which is just a washroom. Little clothing store. And then the 2-year tower for 2 years in this world. I remember watching some Cinnamon Toast Ken when I was building this. It has an okay view, it's kind of just all ocean. This way has probably a better view of my city. Here's a little pyramid and a theater. A bunch of seats there, and if you pay extra, 1 gold, you get the VIP seating. Some free food and some gold blocks. Here's kind of like a archaeologist office. A pretty basic one. This was one of the first builds I built after taking a break from my world for a few months. Here's a radio TV broadcasting station. With a little entrance, then a washroom down here. A couple washrooms, I guess. So here's the radio station. Then this is just an office, I guess. People would be working there on the TVs. It's a news station, they'd be sitting there. And this is just the boss's office of the whole station. And here's the satellite. Also, you get a pretty good view of the pyramid over there and that little island in front of it. The island's a good place to view the pyramid. another house. Pretty basic as well. Washroom down there. And then bedroom up here. You can go on the roof too. And sit up here with someone else facing you. Here's a little doctor's office for my city, since the hospital's not complete and it's pretty far away. And then that stops people from going there for minor things. There's the other side of my tunnel from earlier, to the other side of the city. And here's just 3 little houses. I won't show the washroom, they're all in the basement. Because it's just like all the same basically. Can actually probably get to the other house from up here. This has a tree on top of it. And then we can go down here to the bedroom, living room, and kitchen. And the last house is basically just the same as well. So we're skipping it because we don't need to show it off. Here's the museum. Just some cactuses from this area. Sugarcane from the other part of my city. Some diamonds. Some other stuff. Some gold. The first jukebox I made. And a music disc. It was never actually located there, but in the history of my world it was. There's a piece of that abandoned house on the mountain by the church earlier. And here's some other stuff. And then at the very top, we got the statue. And I think that's my whole island complete now. So now I just gotta start showing off the other islands. Starting there. So here we are at the gravel island. You can see the pyramid a lot better too. There's a piece of gold at the top. I'm pretty sure that's how the actual pyramids were, with actual gold. Yeah, this is just a place with lots of gravel because they sell it for all the pathways in the city. Some offices, and then a meeting room. I think it's just a washroom since it's on an island away from everything else. A gravel storage room. And the CEO's office. Here's an underwater glass dome. It's gonna have a hotel there, a shop here, and a little staff area back there. Here's a few more islands as well as I make my way to the next location. I was gonna show off over there, but I'll actually show off here right now. This is the blimp hangar for my city. So, here's a little helipad kind of thing. So this is probably the only blimp you can actually get in without building up to it. And this is where the blimp can go inside. This is the tower. It's unfinished right now, but it still has a lot of stuff in it. This is a little laundromat for my tower, and across from it's a pool. It only has a diving board, but it's still fun. Then up here is a furniture shop. Bunch of different furniture you see around my city. And then a cafe with lots of places to sit, some books to read, and lots of choices for food. I'm still Steve. Here is an auction house. So you'd sit in one of these chairs and auction on whatever's put up there. And this is where the stuff's put, but it's behind security. Some paintings. I still have to put the diamond in there. And then an ancient pickaxe and a gold door. Here is a political party that wants to separate the shore islands from the rest of the city and become its own city. That's the flag for it we saw earlier. I just finished this like a couple days ago. That's it for the tower though, because up here is unfinished. Except back there, we gotta go down there. But it for the actual tower part of the tower. I kind of took a lot of damage, but I'm in peaceful right now. Here's some washrooms. And then there's a bunch of houses. I'll just show one because there's 6 of them and they're basically all the same right here really. If I do a full world tour again, maybe I'll show each one, but it takes so long when I show everything. And lots of them aren't too different, but I put a lot more effort into the first and last one of these houses than the rest. And there's 6 of him here, and then a little hotel at the end. Pretty similar to the houses though. But just somewhere you can stay in the middle of the ocean. And it has windows on the side. And I actually showed the last thing to show off here, which is the little sport field here. And I'm gonna fill in this area and it's gonna have a bunch of things here too. Like a little lobby, some security, and some other stuff. Here's a few more little islands around here too. There's some really up there too, I'll show after. Here's the railway station for this island. It's not really an island because I didn't take over the whole island, just like half of it. I built a wall, not fully. But I did do a lot of building here so far. There's a little house here. I did a video on this a while ago making it. There's a bathroom there. Here's the master bedroom. Got its own TV. This is the house, abandoned house of a dead serial killer. Cave roofed in. Most of the roof and most of the buildings destroyed. Oh. This is his basement. His secret murder room. And right outside there is a grave for him. And the iron door has been put there by the government, by the city, to keep people out. Here's a funeral home for my city. And there's a house on here too. So on top of here, this is the kitchen. And then a little living room, another chest, a bedroom, and a bathroom. Here's a little graveyard with some random names. That's my chicken. In Minecraft it died. My old hardcore world. Another little church that was built a long time ago. Here's a little well. There's only a little water at the bottom, so it's not safe to jump down. This is an ancient building of Woodhenge. You can do a little parkour on it. And there's some more islands. That's gonna be like a whole island for a beach. I'm gonna make that later. We're over at Lockdown Island. This is a little road I'm making on the outside of it. It's gonna go through the water, then go up in the air a bit and connect to the land. There's one of those skeletons. That's how the top of the skull is gonna look. I've not designed the bottom part yet. This is just a security office since there's a prison on the island. And yes, the chest is backwards. That happens with the smooth stone slabs. If you place a chest against them, it can happen. Yeah, this is just make sure everything's secure on the island. Little watchtower too. And you can see the 5 other little watchtowers around the island too. A little arrow rock. It was dirt first, then I replaced it with stone. I think it naturally formed, or it might have been like partially naturally formed, then I destroyed some dirt and made this and decided to keep it and make it stone. There's gonna be an abandoned town here, and this is the abandoned mine. Down this way is a criminal hideout hotel. Each of the rooms are the same, but there's 5 of them, so 5 criminals can hide out here. A little fire, some bookshelves. This is the pool. Just a tiny pool, because every place needs a pool. Just a basic armory, they don't got much. A washroom, and a kitchen. This is a pretty new build to my city. Okay, so I'm at Warden Island. This is an island in between Lockdown Island. This is the little shed. This is where the warden of the prison lives. Just a tiny house. A little washroom in the basement as always. And then this is the bedroom. And he sleeps next to his sword. A lot of these buildings add to the security from the prison because the watchtowers, having some security going around the island, having the warden always nearby. This is the authoritarian party for my city. The authority party. They're just kinda one part. That's the flag for them. None of these parties are in charge of my city though, none of the ones I'm showing. Here's some offices. The document room. Lots of different stuff in there. I just wanted lots of chances to make different flags for my city. Some bathrooms. And having different parties means they can have like their alternate flags for the city. And this is the leader of the party. They would be in this room. Here's a billboard from a company from my InfDev city. It's gonna move to my Alpha city soon. And then the prison. I'll just go through it quick because I kind of showed it off a lot. If you want, I have a whole video doing a tour of it uploaded on my channel. And I show off every detail. But that's the entrance, a little storage room, some offices, there's some on top too, some watchtower over that way. That brings you to second floor. Staff room. The warden's office is there. A little armory. This is the visitation, just the visitor side. Prisoner side's over there. Execution on the guest side. That's where they execute the prisoners. That's where the visitation is on the prisoner side. A little hospital with a morgue under it to put the bodies. A holding cell. When they get the prisoners in a cellar if they just need extra space. On top of here is a parole hearing room, so they can get a chance at parole. This is a chapel for any religious people. A classroom. That's the laundry room. It connects these two sides of the prison. Above the classroom is a workspace, and they have to make different things. Furnaces, stone axes, smooth stone slabs. This is the yard. It's encased in completely by the prison, so it'd be hard to escape from. One of the 3 death row cells for death row inmates. And then 3 solitary cells. Some cameras around here too. A washroom and a padded cell. Showers. And underneath it is the cafeteria with the kitchen, and I used obsidian and wool for the floor. Then over here is the cell block. This has 2 stories. The other one is just 5 cells that are a bit bigger that can fit 3 inmates. Then I have an underground cell with like 10 or 11 cells for prisoners, so I can hold a lot in here. If you want to see all of them, watch the prison tour video. I would show them off again, but I've already done it, and if anyone has already seen it, I don't want to keep showing it, because I've shown it in a few videos recently, the prison. So I just want to show off some builds I haven't shown off for a while. Or at least put more focus on the ones I haven't shown off in a while. Or at least too much. This is just a normal house, but it's actually another criminal hideout. With the purpose of looking like a house. And then you go through here, and it's a secret tunnel to try to get into the prison. It's not complete yet though. So when I was building the prison, I had some chests and furnaces set up here, so I decided to build a house around them. And I use this as my storage for this part of the city. And this is just a washroom. It's a basic house, but again, I just set it up mostly for storage. This is the Lockdown Island railway station. Some more watchtowers at this side too. There's some little pyramids right here, and it leads over to these buildings this way. I'll show off that after, as well as the hotel and everything, but I have another little island I want to show off over there. This is the courthouse, just another tiny one. Maybe for more minor things, or just for anything related to the prison for prisoners. This is stuff made at the prison. And this is a general shop. I'll just show it from up here, but if you see that little cross on that island, some flowers around it, it's a little grave for all the soldiers that died fighting for my city. Because my city's pretty ancient, and I just wanted some buildings to add to the lore. That's Cray's Island, named after one of my cats. This is Pizza Island, because I was eating pizza when I named it. A little general store. This is just a house. I think all the houses are pretty similar, so I'll just show them. And yeah, there's a lot of houses here. This is just like this part of my city still, but it's like its own little town. Because there's a general store, It has a bunch of houses. It has a little park with a little pool. It's a church, and you can actually get on top of this church and go in that watchtower and like get a good view of everything. This is a doctor's office, but it's also a house. And then just a couple more houses. And this is Pizza Island. The only place in my world I use fences. Signs as fences. But it looks pretty good. So to get this done, some ruins. This is a little nature island. These are some washrooms. And this kind of is a camping grounds. You can camp here. Some beach over here. You can go through the beach. The railroad kind of goes through it now though. It didn't before. It's not too bad. There's still a lot of space to swim. A lot of space on the beach. Then you can come through here, and this is a safe cave. You can explore it if you want. Have lights all over, and we'll probably not go too deep. That's fine. Anyways, you need to explore some caves if you're on an island. But here's some tents. All the tents are pretty similar, different things set up in them though. And then there's some campfires. There's a campfire that's not burning, and there's one that's burnt a bit. Okay, that sign kind of confused me the way I put it. Okay. Just a lot of tents here though, and then a huge bonfire, like a big fire over there. And some more ruins too. So I can get a good view of the Christmas tree from here too. So I built that in 2024 for Christmas, then added those candy canes for 2025. And by 2026 we're probably moving on to the next world. Or next city. Probably same world, next city in beta Minecraft. Here we are at the Pumpkin Farm Island. This is the bedroom, little storage room, and the kitchen. And you can't actually farm pumpkins in this version, so I'm just pretending they're growing. And I had to place them so the face doesn't show. So that's why every single pumpkin's placed like next to a block, so its face isn't showing. Except the jack-o'-lantern. Over here is kind of an abandoned island. You can explore it a bit, just chill up here. A yin-yang in the water. And that's my alpha sign for Alpha Minecraft. I did an InfDev one for my InfDev city too. So I guess I put some history on it. This is an abandoned building. The downstairs doesn't exist no more. And it's kind of hard to get up and very dangerous. Most of it has crumbled to time, but this is the Green Island abandoned office tower. So the last few builds are actually this way. And they're kind of small, so I'm getting done here, so thank you again all for 350 subscribers. I think I'll do a world download around 500, or maybe when my alpha city is done. I'm not too sure when I'm gonna do that though. This is one of the first island houses I made. It's got its own dock too, a nice one. It has a living room and a little kitchen, basement, bathroom, and of course the bedroom on top. But it got 2 TVs, so it's nice. There's a floating island there too, that's part of my city. The chunks are kind of messed up because that's from InfDev. I can always do something with that too. I have a good lore reason it could exist too, so I'm not too worried about how that looks. It's not too bad. I can fix it if needed. It would just take a while. And I can always do it in the future. But this is the first of the shore islands, so the first of all these islands. It was originally all going to be on one island. When I found out this was an island, because I didn't know at first, when I started building and found that out, it was all going to be just there. But then I needed more space and wanted space to do other stuff, so I had to expand. And then I just kept expanding. But my original plan too was just to have like the campgrounds and this area be my city. But then I wanted to expand to that whole island and just expand all over. But this was the first island I expanded to other than the main island. And it was just the welcome island to welcome everyone to the city. But now it's kind of in the city, it's not at the edge of the city anymore. There's also a bunch of underwater ruins around here, like an abandoned mine, some abandoned shops and houses and other stuff. So all those islands far away over there, I'm not going to show off. I'm going to just show off this last island and be done, because there's nothing really over there. So this is kind of like just a fire that's forever lit. It's supposed to be like the Olympic torch, just in the way that it's supposed to stay lit forever. But yeah, this is the Sun Island. Just a little island on the edge of my city. There's Fire Island over there, that's always on fire. There's some little builds on those other islands if I load up my chunks. Not much built out here. But that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm still Steve for today, not my Stan Smith skin I downloaded. So, there's that till I get my internet back. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Thank you again for 350 subscribers. And goodbye.